What's up guys, I'm here with another video. Welcome to episode 133 of Let's Build a City. Today we're building a Starbucks. Let's build a Starbucks.
What's up YouTube? In this video I'll be showing you how to make a Starbucks. If you enjoy this tutorial and you would like to see some more city builds on the channel, please hit that like button as it really helps me, the channel, and of course Steve out as well. And as a side note, I will also show you how to do the inside as well, but you'll have to wait until later in the video for me to show that part off. But without any further ado, let's get started. Now, quickly, before we begin building, here are all of the materials. That you will need to make the outside of Starbucks. This will let you make the building and the surrounding outside. But these materials that I'm showing you now are the materials that you will need to make the inside of your Starbucks. I will be showing these later as well, just before we do the inside, so don't feel as though you have to grab them now. You can get them later. The amount of space required to build your Starbucks is a 21 by 19 block area. If you're building a city, then these measurements will help you, and I'd recommend making the grid. Please pause the video if you have to. Gather your materials. Make sure that you have enough room to make it. Make sure you want to make it. Once you've got all of those things sorted out, we can begin. So step one, my friends, involves us coming to the very front left-hand corner of our grid. If you've not made the grid, it's no big deal. We will be building very soon. Count to the right of this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then inwards, 1 and 2. This is the starting position. You want to begin by placing a terracotta on the ground. Extend the terracotta upwards by 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Place a birch plank on top and extend the ride by 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Place terracotta coming down from that birchwood plank block until you eventually connect all the way back down to the base. What we now want to do is create the entrance. So, for context, the entrance is going to sit one block backwards from the terracotta. There's going to be a dark oak door in the center, black concrete left and right of the door. Extend the black concrete up by one block either side and place a block of glass in the middle. I then want you to place a row of terracotta above and outwards from the top of the door to create a little bit of depth. And then we are going to also add a row of terracotta coming down from the top here as well, where we have the birch planks. And I also want you to place 2 rows of green concrete coming down from that terracotta. The end result of this is that we can now place terracotta in between all of the empty space and also above the door, outwards from the row of terracotta that we have above it. It'll look a little bit weird, but this is what we want to have so far. Now that you have accomplished this, we are going to begin extending the entrance backwards. The way that we will do this is we will take the very first terracotta block that we placed and extend backwards by 2. 1, 2. And then to the left by 1. Place a black concrete and up by 1, 2. Left by 3. 1, 2, 3. Down to the ground. And place a terracotta going left. It's now important to place 6 birch planks on top of the terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. What I now want you to do, whilst it's fresh in our minds, is do the same on the opposite side. You take the opposite end of the entrance, place 1, 2 terracottas coming backwards, an additional terracotta going right, a black concrete, 2 on top, 3 to the right, 1, 2, and 3, and connect it down. Place a terracotta going right of the black concrete, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 birch planks. I'm sorry if I did that a little bit fast. However, if you're unsure if you've done it right, just check the first side. Also, we now want to start extending Starbucks back a little bit. The way that we will do this is start on the very left side of Starbucks, and left of this terracotta right here, we want to place a black concrete. 2 on top, left by 3, 1, 2, and 3, connect it down to the ground, take the block on the ground and extend it backwards by 8 using terracotta.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm sure that I don't have to tell you, once you've done that on that side, we want to do the same on the opposite. Beginning from this terracotta, place a black concrete behind it, 2 on top, 1, 2, 3 to the right, black concrete down to the ground, and then simply extend terracotta backwards. You can count 8, or you can be sure that that row over there is the same as the row that we've just made. Connect the terracotta together at the back, like this. What's important now is that we add a few details around Starbucks. So, for instance, I'm going to place green concrete on top of every window, but that's not all. I also want to place upside down birchwood stairs above the green concrete. Additionally, I want to extend the green concrete out by a row, like so. But I don't just want to do that to that window, I want to do it to all of them. So, green concrete on top of the window, extend out, upside down stairs on top. And it is as easy as that. Once you have mastered this once, I'm sure that you will be able to do it to all of the 3 remaining windows. There are only 4 windows on Starbucks. You can add more if you like, However, I didn't want to, so that would be a complete choice, completely left up to you. So, once you have managed to do this to every single one of those windows, well done. Next, we can start building up the walls a little bit. So, on the sides of Starbucks, we'll start on the left and right side. We are going to place birch planks coming up from the terracotta base. These birchwood planks will come up and in between the windows, and they will eventually be as high as the birchwood planks that you placed on the side, or on the front actually, and also the side. 3 dimensions.
Hold on, I'll be right back, guys.
thing on the opposite side as well. So, of course, as you guys might imagine, what we do to one side, we are going to do to the other side. Just like that. And that's wonderful. So now we have both sides taken care of. We are going to do that. And I do want to also point out, I'm going to point this out now and perhaps even a little bit later on. This Starbucks is customizable. You are able to add more windows, more details, and more scenes that you will enjoy around your Starbucks as we go along. And I'll even point So, whilst you might think that perhaps that's a little bit boring now, I'll give you some tips on what you could do to make it your own. Now, as we have connected the back together, we now have to connect the front together. So, first of all, I'm just going to extend the terracotta left and right of the entrance backwards. So, I'm going to come all the way up to the top, and I'm going to extend the terracotta backwards. This is important because we want to form a solid wall. So from the back, we've raised the terracotta, we've raised it towards us, and from the front you can see it's going towards the back. And that will allow us to place birchwood planks between the windows and above the windows like this, connecting to what we have just made. And of course you want to do this on both sides. And once you have done that, ladies and gentlemen, very nicely done, we can add a few more details. So, first thing we want to do is we want to place birchwood stairs all the way around the top of our... Whoa! All the way around... I'm so bad. All the way around the top of our Starbucks. These upside down birchwood stairs will give shape to the building and it will stop it looking so blocky. It also so happens that a lot of Starbucks have this sort of familiar trim. So you can see that improves it in an instant. We also want to use the same detail up here at the top of the entrance. But first that would require us to further extend the top of the entrance, only the parts above the birch wood. I mean, you can even come as far down as here where it's level, and extend it back 1, 2, 1, 2, like this. We want to give the entrance a larger shape above the Starbucks, but not inside. So we're going to connect the back of these two rows of terracotta together. We're also going to add a row of birchwood planks around the top of this little entrance part here. And then we can quite freely add our birchwood stairs upside down around the top, which will give it shape, gives it a little bit more of life. It really does. Like now, you can see we're steadily improving this one. We have to add a ceiling. So just for the moment, I'm going to dump these materials. We will probably be needing a lot of them later on. And I'm going to grab the dark oak fence, the dark oak trapdoors, the stone slabs, and I'll tell you... that we will be needing the glass, and I'll give you a choice on which one. But we want to add a ceiling, the roof. I'm going to use stone slabs to accomplish this. I am going to place, not that it really matters, stone slabs half a row down from the top of the inside of the build. So like this, right? Just to make it so that the roof has a little bit of depth. This is kind of irrelevant. You can use whatever you like to fill the top of your roof in. It's unlikely that most people are going to see the top of your roof. However, it is also possible. Especially if your city is built in many layers at many different heights, then it is possible somebody may see the top of the roof and they might appreciate the fact that the roof has several colour tones. I don't know.
See, if I do that, if I spam it, if I hit it, see, look, it just turns into a block. Why does it do that? I hate it. Minecraft, fix that option.
Similar thing with Subway over there. Also, we're going to fill the top of this little part in here using the exact same, there we go, using the exact same design. And now that that is done, we have to dig out around Subway. There we go, using the exact same design.
Okay, alright, I'm just gonna fill in the... Why does it do that? I honestly liked when you can just spam it and then it will just not have any issues, but that's changed. Luckily on this little part here we don't have to do that much. One little hole here, fill that in. There we go. It's pretty simple. Yeah? Go in where? Alexa, turn on Jin's room. Alexa. Turn on Jin's room.
Okay. You don't know?
What? Where are you going? No thanks. So my dad asked me a question and I said no.
Around Subway.
Subway? That's a Starbucks.
Subway is quite a daunting task. I would recommend digging out
Nope.
2 rows all the...
Yep, I'm gonna dig out the path because I'm using smooth stone block because it's easier. Okay? It's easier. I like smooth stone block. I use it all the time in every single build because who doesn't love smooth stone? Because it's a nice looking material. I use it as a path in all of my builds. And I always add it to like... Okay, for an example... Hold on, just got to dig up this. For example, this is smooth stone. It's just a little tiny path I added. Oops, fill that in with grass. I wonder why I destroyed that grass. I don't know, because I'm dumb.
Around Subway. What do I mean by 2 rows? I mean that no matter where you are, whether it's at the front where it sticks out a bit or whether it's at the side where it doesn't, dig out all of the grass or whatever material might be there, all of it out. Unless you so happen to have placed a layer of flooring material that you want, I would recommend digging out this entire area and replacing it with something that one would walk on. So something like stone slabs, for instance, or maybe concrete, something like that. I'm also going to dig underneath the windows. The whole point of this is to replace it all with a flooring material. Flooring material being something that you are going to use for the floor. In my particular case, I'm using stone slabs. But as I say, there's many different options. You may want to use what you're going to be using in your city for maybe like a road material. Or you might want to use, say, like, here's a few examples. You might want to use light grey concrete, some dark grey concrete. You might want to use cyan terracotta, which looks very much grey. You might even be using stone. Whatever is going to best fit into your world, unless you want this particular part of Starbucks to stand out, you're going to want to use those materials. And if you wanted to as well, this is another option, you can add a drive-through to your Starbucks as well. That's also another option. I just thought I'd throw that out there whilst we were just kind of like digging around. Now that we have all of those stone slabs placed, I'm also going to quickly delete where the door is here, and I'm going to dig stone slab not coming now for the door.
Yes, I'm sure. What are you going to North Lex anyway for? What are you going to North Lakes for anyway?
We're only going to pop to JP, get a couple of things signed, and then go to college, get something else to put in, and then come back.
JP?
Yes, the Justice of the Peace. That's what you were asking a question about, and I can show you.
I've never seen Justice of Peace in North
I'll
Lakes.
show you it then. Come on.
No. No, I don't want to go.
What?
No, I'm not coming.
Fuck you then. You let me out.
See you then. Alright guys, I'm just gonna stay here with my mum and my brother because my dad's going up to the shops, and even though I don't want to go because I'm too busy live streaming.
To save us doing it later. Use glass pane inside of all of the window areas. You could just as easily use glass cloth. I'm using pane just to create a level of depth. I don't always feel the need to do this, but on this particular occasion, because the windows are set level and flush with the rest of the wall, adding a little bit of depth, I think, adds to the build. Well, what can we do next here? We have to add the banner so everybody knows, oh, not only the banner, but we're going to add some fake lights to the top of the windows. We're also going to be adding the banners. I accidentally used what I'm going to be using for the banner. Okay, perfect.
I don't really use this for my builds, but today we are going to be using a crafting table. Psych. We are going to be using a loom and a crafting table to make the Starbucks lady. So yeah, that's all we're gonna use. We're gonna use a loom and a crafting table. 3 white green dye, an oxide daisy, and then a wither skeleton skull.
So, above the windows you'll find in a lot of Starbucks there's lights. Now, these lights, we're not going to make real ones, but if you place a dark oak fence on top of coming out from the birchwood plank above the end, upside down of birchwood stairs, and then you place a dark oak trapdoor underneath, it kind of looks very similar to what they have going on. They actually have some very simple hanging, typically speaking, black lights above the windows. So we're emulating that by using these. Feel free to use actual lights if you so choose in the form of torches or perhaps some glowstone. But I think it just adds a little bit of detail which, I don't know, it kind of looks a little bit better to me. Next, we have some banner work, my least favourite part of these tutorials. So for banner, we need a crafting table, we need 3 green banners, a load of white dye, a load of green dye, a single oxide daisy, and a single...
I need a crafting table and a loom. Loom, crafting table. That's it.
Skull. I'm going to slap down the crafting table, just like that. I'm not sure whether you heard that. And I'm going to begin crafting. Skull. I'm going to slap down the crafting table, just like that. I'm not sure whether you heard that. And I'm going to begin crafting. So, first of all, we're going to start by placing a green banner right in the middle of the crafting table. White dye coming across the bottom.
I'm gonna make the letters because they are so easy to make. I'm really fast at making them. See? There we go. Of course, need to add green dye all the way around to make it better.
To grab the end result of that, and I'm going to chuck it back in the table, in the middle right side. I'm going to
chuck the green banner in my inventory because I'm going to delete these 2 materials.
Grab the new banner.
Not the green dye. Put it back in my inventory.
White dye comes across the top of it to form a backwards Z, but that's actually our S. So I'm going to grab the end result of that. I'm going to chuck it back in the table. And I'm going to place a green dye all the way around it to clean up the letters. And that is an S. There's many ways to do S's, but that one is how I particularly like to do it. Now, in the middle of the Starbucks, or in the middle of the sign that we're going to be creating, is the Starbucks logo. I did not invent this banner myself, however I will leave credit down below in the description for where I found this. You want to begin by placing a green banner in the bottom middle of the table.
Before I make the Starbucks lady, I'm going to make the letter B, because it's easy. See? Easy. Green dye all the way around. And now we grab that. Finally, we are going to make the Starbucks lady. Finally. Alright. Switch from the loom. Don't need the loom anymore. Crafting table. Never used this in a little while, so I'll just put that in the bottom.
Place a white die above the banner, a single white die, and place an oxide daisy to the left of the die. Grab the new banner and place it directly in the center of the table. White die bottom, right, top, and left of the banner.
Oh! Bam! Bam! Oops. Oops. Bing. Bong. No. Bong. There we go.
Grab the new banner and place it in the direct. Once we have it, here we go. I'm going a little bit faster than I can actually place all this stuff. Grab the new banner and place it in the bottom center of the table with a green die top left corner, top right corner, and in the center like this. Once you have created that shape, we're going to grab the new banner and place it in the bottom of the center of the table. Place a green die just above it like this, and grab the new banner. Place the banner in the bottom center of the table once more, a white die above it, and this is where the skull comes in handy. We place it left of the die, grab the new banner, we place it now in the center of the table once more. This is the last step, and a green die coming down below. Grab the banner, and that looks quite a lot, vaguely, about as close as you can get as far as I can see, like the Starbucks logo. Now, for the last banner, we're going to place a green banner in the center of the table, and a white die coming across.
I'm going to skip forward.
Top door, logo, and a B. And you might be able to figure out where these are going. Where we have these two rows of green concrete, on the left side an S, in between the logo, and then the B on the opposite side. And I think that that looks quite good. I mean, alternatively, you could find some sort of way to fit Starbucks somewhere on the build. Maybe even like across the side or something, but I think that that looks just fine as it is. Just in case, for some weird reason, I don't know why, I need these later. I'm going to slap a chest right here, and I'm going to put them in there because they are horrible to make. I'm sure that I don't have to explain that they're really not fun to make, are they? Unless you guys like making banners, I don't. But here are a couple of suggestions for the outside of our Starbucks just before
making the road in front of Starbucks. Then we're going to do some stuff to the outside. And then finally we are going to make the interior.
pack things in now. I don't have these items in the material list, okay? But here are some ideas for what you might want to add around your Starbucks, just on the outside, before we move on to the inside, okay? So you might want to add a couple of tables and chairs in front of the windows, maybe on the left side or the right side. Starbucks just on the outside before we move on to the inside, okay? So you might want to add a couple of tables and chairs in front of the windows, maybe on the left side or the right side. This is easily achieved by using any kind of stairs, a fence in between, another stair on the opposite side, and something, some sort of trapdoor or something like that for the top of the table. And that looks like a set of table and chairs that people might enjoy their drink. You can place these on either side of your Starbucks, but these are not necessary. I actually think it clutters up the outside, hence why I didn't include these in the actual official item list. But you could add those if you like. And the last little feature that I might recommend, I mean, they look kind of cool, but I don't know whether I like them or not. You could add those if you like. And the last little feature that I might recommend...
I did the stairs in the wrong place.
I mean, they look kind of cool, but I don't know whether I like them or not. You might want to add parasols next to the table and chairs. You know, kind of like shade people and like stop people getting wet and stuff if it rains. So all you would need is birch fence and banners, and you just place a maybe like 3 or so high birch fence, or any fence as a matter of fact, and you place some banners around the top of it, and that looks like a let-down umbrella. And again, that's like to protect people from the heat or perhaps even the rain. And you can place these near these seats, and you might like those. Those are just a couple of ideas. Again, it's completely up to you, but those are the only ideas that I have for you for the outside of your Starbucks, by the way. So that is the outside completely done, ladies and gentlemen. Very well done for making it this far. We're about halfway done. Now I'm going to introduce you to the inside of Starbucks. And before we start building, here are all of the...
Let's make the interior. I'm going to make the interior now. So I'm just going to grab the materials that I'm going to need. So...
materials that we are going to be using. So please make sure that you have all of those materials, and once you do have them all, we can start on the next part of Starbucks, which is the inside. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have just finished gathering all of the materials that we are going to be needing for the inside. I hope that you have managed to use that list and gather everything that you need for yourself as well. Once you're ready, we can begin. So, first we're going to head inside. I'd recommend going through the front door, as there isn't another one, otherwise you're going to be going through the wall. And first we're going to install a ceiling. The ceiling is very easy to place. It is made out of mainly white concrete, and it just starts above the door like this, and you want to place white concrete for the entirety of the ceiling. We could of course make the ceiling a lot higher, but I so happen to like nice little cozy spaces for shops and stuff like that, sometimes even houses, so my white concrete placed just above where the door begins and just above pretty much where everywhere else begins, above the windows and all that stuff, is going to be just white concrete like that. And that significantly shrinks the amount of space that you have to work with. And now we have to place some light in here. You can figure this out in any number of ways, but I'm going to place a few sea lanterns placed strategically. Starting from any one of the corners, I'm going to count inwards. 1, 2, and then I'm going to move inwards 1, destroy that block, and I'm going to place a sea lantern. I'm going to do 1, 2, leave a gap of 2, sea lantern. 1, 2, sea lantern, like that. So we have 3 sea lanterns placed evenly along this wall. And I'm going to do the same on the opposite side. So you come to the corner, 1, 2, in 1, destroy. 1, 2, destroy, 1, 2, destroy. And then you've got sea lanterns coming all the way up. Now I'm going to use a similar sort of thing here. The glass that we have above the door is where I want the sea lanterns to be coming up the middle of the building, and I want to line up the sea lanterns with the other sea lanterns. So I'll show you what I mean. So now, horizontally, we have placed the sea lanterns in the same place, coming across the ceiling, and we've also placed them coming up where the middle of the door is. And you'll find that actually provides a nice amount of light, and it looks very nice and balanced like this. Well, what else are we going to be doing? I'm going to destroy the floor a little bit. I'm going to place a trim of birchwood planks going all the way around the edge of the floor. The middle of the floor is more predominantly colourful. It's white and green, as you can expect. But around the edge of the floor, and also just inside the entrance, we're going to have birchwood planks. I find that this frames the centre of the floor better, and oftentimes when you go to places like this, you'll find that it's not all carpet, so it kind of makes sense having like a little bit of a trim or a border around where the floor is, like this. I want to start making like the counter and stuff, so if we come all the way to the very back right corner of our Starbucks, starting from this corner, we want to count left. We want to go 1, 2, and 3. This is where we're going to start. We're going to place an iron trapdoor coming out from that terracotta, and then 3 terracotta coming outwards from the trapdoor. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And then we're going to extend the terracotta all the way to the left, and we will connect to that wall. And what we also want to do is we kind of want to create a line where people are going to be able to queue and stuff for their coffee and their treats and all that fun stuff. So if you come to the very front right corner of the counter here, you count into the left by 1, dig into the ground, 2 spaces coming towards you, place a terracotta, and then we want to do the same coming from the opposite end of the counter now. As a matter of fact, it's a little bit different. From the end of the counter here, we're going to count right by 1 and 2, and then we're going to dig in the ground 1, 2, place a terracotta, dig in between them, terracotta, and then glass pane in between. And then that kind of just creates a little bit of separation from where people are going to be drinking and ordering their coffee and all that fun stuff. So now I'm going to destroy the area behind the counter, and I'm going to floor it. I'm going to floor it with some birchwood planks because I want it to be different back here than it is everywhere else. However, everywhere else inside of Starbucks, I'm going to rip up the floor, everything but the birchwood. I'm not going to rip up the birchwood planks that we placed. That'd be insane. But we're going to get all of these grass and what have you. We're going to get all of this up, and we're going to place the colourful floor. And before we start adding some other stuff as well, it might kind of like make your eyes go a little bit wacky. I don't know. You'll be able to see for yourself. But I'm just going to move these 2 closer together. So, what did I just do? Green and come on. What? I don't even know what happened there. So, starting from anywhere. Pretty much. We're going to create a pattern. We're going to place white concrete, and in between the white concrete, we're going to be placing green. It doesn't really matter how it starts or where it ends or whatever, but as long as you start off somewhere and place alternating green and white, and you create a chessboard pattern, a checkerboard pattern, an alternating 2-turn pattern going throughout the entire build where we have just destroyed the floor, then you will make what is kind of like a nice brand recognized, kind of fits in rather well pattern for a floor that makes the build look quite nice. So green and white seem like an obvious choice. I like the concrete because it's smoother than the wall, although wool would make more sense because of course it's much more of a flooring material. But concrete works well in my opinion, and it just looks nice and smooth and it looks clean and it kind of fits with the outside. So yeah, looking at this, I mean, it kind of makes my eyes go a little bit funny. I don't know about you guys, but I really like how it looks. So now that we've done that, we're going to create a couple of like tables and chairs, because obviously, I mean, people want to sit and drink their coffee and stuff. So you can place these literally anywhere. So here's a couple of ideas. So left and right at the entrance here, right? We're going to place like this chair, fence in the middle, chair. And we're going to do this on either side of the entrance because it seems like an easy place to place them, right? Just like that. We're going to have a similar sort of thing like just opposite these. So just opposite this set of chairs, we're going to have like a chair, fence in the middle, like that. When it comes to this point here, we can't really have that without it being a bit clunky, because we can't place a chair like here coming out from the boundary, so we'll have like a chair here and a fence, and we'll just have a little signal. Sometimes you just want to drink alone, it happens. On this little side wall here, I'm going to have a similar thing, so I'm going to have like a chair, fence in between, like that. Additionally, on this back wall, I'm going to have equidistant between the wall and these chairs. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 terracotta like that. And we're going to place stuff here later. Also, behind this back counter, if we count, anyway, from this wooden iron trap door, we're going to leave a gap of 1, and then we're going to place white concrete coming left. We're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like that, coming across the back. And we've actually made a huge amount of the interior, whether you guys might realise it or not. Like, we've done quite a lot here. Let's chuck away this whole set of materials and we'll grab this next row here. So you might have to, you know, pause, make sure that you've got all of these. We've got pressure plates, chest, furnace. I'm sure that you guys recognise all these anyway. But grab all these and then we can start work a little bit more. So next thing we're going to do is we are going to, in the left corner, just going left of the counter sort of area here, we're going to place a double chest, 2 by 2 by 2, just on top of each other right here. We're going to, starting from the left side of this white concrete, we're going to leave this block alone, but to the right of it, 2 brewing stands, 2 furnaces next to there, and then 2 more brewing stands on the right, just like this. So like these are for brewing coffee, you know, with quotation marks, and you know, the furnaces are for cooking food, quotation marks. And we're going to place another set of furnaces on top. Tripwire hooks above the brewing stands because it kind of fits for some reason, I don't know why, it just kind of fits. We're going to place item frames left and right of the tripwire hooks like this. We're also going to come to this little counter area here and we're going to place a chest left and right of the counter. And we're going to place item frames above there. That'll make sense a little bit later on. Additionally, I want to have a painting on this wall. So the painting is just like, it's literally like here, right here, yeah. And I want a middle painting, so I'm going to make sure that I get that. I want a painting right here, and that's actually my favourite, like 2x1 painting. Like, I really like that one. And it's just to add a bit of decoration. We're also going to be adding a painting here, like furnaces. I want to have like a 2x2 painting here. That's quite a nice one, but I quite like the spider as well. I might actually use this just for a bit of colour variance, because the spider's very white and black, and it's, you know, two primary colours inside here already. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to use white carpet and green carpet to kind of just fluff up the countertop here as well. I'm even going to, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to use white carpet and green carpet to kind of just fluff up the countertop here as well. I'm even going to place like a white carpet here and here, just on the right side. Oh no, what am I doing? I'm causing havoc. We can fix that. So, terracotta here, white concrete there, side. Oh no, what am I doing? I'm causing havoc. We can fix that. So, terracotta here, white concrete there. And in between these two white carpets is actually going to be a cash register. But the last material that we have on us that we're going to be using a lot of is pressure plates, these birch pressure plates. And I'm going to place kind of like an equal amount of birch pressure plates, as I am going to place an equal amount of dark oak wood pressure plates, or somewhere close to it. So probably about this many. And those are just going to be the tabletops as you look around. Now I'm going to dump all of these materials except for the paintings, and I'm going to grab, I'm going to need torches, sugar, cocoa beans, quartz stairs, flower pots, and some dark oak pressure plates. And I'm going to place dark oak pressure plates on the remaining tables, just to vary up a little bit. You can't actually have an equal amount as there's. You could easily make some more chairs and stuff as you went around. I'm going to place torches in a few places, like next to this painting seems like a good idea, and maybe like a left and a right of the entrance just as you come in. I don't know, it kind of makes sense. Maybe even on this wall to provide a little bit more light, even if you need it. I'm going to place paintings above where we have these tables left and right of the entrance as well, which is why I should probably use these, because I want just a single painting. And it could be any painting really, as long as it's not too ugly. I just want a bit more colour on the walls. God, those are horrible. But that'll do. They're nice little different sets of colours. Just like right there, it just looks kind of nice, right? I mean, you could even have one here, perhaps, like just above this table. Okay, or maybe not. Fair enough. So now we've actually done like a huge amount of the interior. All we're going to do now is, in between these two chests, I'm going to stick a flower pot, which looks like a coffee cup. I'm going to place sugar inside these chests. You know, if you have coffee, you might want sugar, who knows? And above here, I'm going to place cocoa beans in the item frames with flower pots below. And of course, that's just like to signify coffee, cocoa beans, coffee. And I'm also going to place the flower pots look like cups. And you can even place a couple of these like across the counter like that as well. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we have put quite a lot of effort into this, but it's not a bad interior. It looks like you might expect like a coffee shop to look at. Like, you know, you've got like some food, you've got some drinks, you've got like a place to sit, you queue, you've got, oh, the cash register right here in between these two white walls here. Kind of looks like a cash register. I don't know. And yeah, I mean, if you want to add a little more details, you're more than free to. So, like for instance, if you wanted to add windows, you could add windows about the place. Maybe you could add one like here, for instance, and then you could have like a takeaway sort of window here. So like if you wanted to, you could have like cars coming up the side, and you could have like a little takeaway window, which would of course require some glass. But you can add more windows, you can add a little bit of takeaway area, which is what this is. You probably, you know, you'd have something like that, and then maybe like a couple of trap doors that you'd open and close. or you could just have like just a straight window. It's up to you. And eggway area, which is what this is, you probably, you'd have something like that, and then maybe like a couple of trap doors that you'd open and close, or you could just have like just a straight window. It's up to you. And something else that you might want to also just add, like you could add, for instance, like signs, and you could put different types of coffee or different, stuff on the signs if you wanted to, like above where these chests are. You could have like an order board and stuff. You could even have a similar thing just here, and you could actually have like 4 of them here, just kind of like an order board, as you might expect. But that's completely up to you, and that's, ladies and gentlemen, that's Starbucks complete. I mean, I hope that you guys are happy with it. Let's get rid of all this stuff and let's take a look at this thing now that it's all done, eh? So this is our Starbucks. This is what it looks like from the outside. If you do choose to add a couple of little extra details to your Starbucks, if you want to add a couple of seats and maybe some parasols and stuff, we even have the little drive-through window that you see on that.
I have finished and completed a Starbucks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me building a Starbucks. If you did guys enjoy this video, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video from me, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a lovely day guys, see you guys tomorrow.